Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of my AFL 26 Management Career Mode here with Port Adelaide. I hope you're all doing very well today. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could please help me out and help a guy's dream come true, that would be absolutely magnificent. But before we get into today's game up against the Sydney Swans, if we have a quick look at the fixtures that have started the year, opening round, we did very well against the Crows. Round 1, also did very well against the Eagles. Had the bye in round 2, and in round 3, defeated the unbeaten Fremantle Dockers. We now take on the Swans in our first interstate game of the year, and I've made the difficulty a lot harder. I have upgraded my sliders, so we should be having a much more competitive video here today. On top of our on-the-field activities, I've also made some contract extensions going into the near future. Connor Rosie, we've extended his contract by 1 year completely unnecessarily, but we actually save a little bit of money over the course of the contract heading into next year's off-season. We also, who else do we sign? Jace Burgoyne signed a contract extension through to 2035 as well, saving a bit of money also. Arlo O'Brien has now signed a contract extension through to 2030 after his phenomenal performances across his debut campaign so far. Jack Lukosius, who will actually be missing today's game with injury, he's signed now through to 2035, cutting a bit of money off of his deal. And as things stand right now, there is only one player who is actually uncontracted for next season, and that is Sam Butler, who's actually currently out with an Achilles injury. I wasn't really planning on playing him at any point this year anyway, so I dare say we probably won't bring him back unless we delist him and redraft him. But heading into next off-season, we've got $2 million to spend, and if we have a look at the reserves, we've actually got the showdown in the reserves coming up, and I have made a few changes in the reserves, mainly because Zerk Thatcher is injured, Lukosius is injured, and so we've had to call a few people up into the AFL side. Logan Evans is back from injury, but I'm just going to give him the week off today. I don't really need him playing in the reserves. We'll call him back up next week, whoever we play. But apart from that, there shouldn't really be too many changes because I believe Radigalea has been called up. Not Radigalea. Leek Alia has been called up into the main AFL side. He's going to be playing at fullback today up against the Swans. And we're going to simulate this Crows game in the SANFL. We win by 30 points in a very, very tight contest for the majority of the game. Actually, Harvey Nicholson with the 3 votes in the ruck was very, very good. Kicked the 3 goals, got a bit of the ball. Christian Moraes, who was out of contract towards the end of this upcoming season, penned him to a 2-year deal as well. Got the 35 disposals. And unfortunately, in that SANFL game, Dyson Sharp has picked up a concussion, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. The 22 that I've selected for this upcoming game up against the Swans, we've got, what's his face? Owen Miles, I think his name is. Yes, it is. We drafted him actually quite late in the draft, but it says here he's a 76 overall. He's not a 76 overall, but he's 17 years of age. He's a bit of a utility, can play a whole bunch of different positions. He has been brought in for Lukosius to make his debut today up against the Swans. We've got Dersma, who's going to be starting at full forward. Joe Berry, who's actually leading the Coleman medal right now, which is hilarious as far as I'm concerned. Jace Burgoyne at half forward. Jack Whitlock at centre half forward in place of Lukosius. Horn Francis on the other half forward flank with Warple, Butters, Drew, Rosie and Neil in the midfield. That really hasn't changed. Taylor Goad, who's had a really good couple of games in the ruck. Kane Farrell at halfback with Wanganeen Miller. Jack Silvani at centre halfback with Lee Kalia, as I said, who's been recalled to play his first game for Port Adelaide in the main side with Burton and Nick Newman on in the back pockets, I should say. And then on the bench, we've got Sam Draper, George Hewitt, Jackson Mead, Arlo O'Brien, with Smoke and Joe Richards as the sub. And we're also going to be going up against a few of our old players as well. Obviously, Todd Marshall, we did trade to the Swans in the off-season. We just needed a few draft picks, so hopefully we can shut him down. He's playing up against Ryan Burton today. And then Alia, who was an All-Australian last year, he's going to be playing at centre half-back against Jack Whitlock. I can't see any other former Port players either, but this is going to be a fantastic contest. But without further ado, let's get into this contest up against the Swans. Let's see if the Swans can provide an upset, or will we continue to 4-0 to start our Premiership defense. And it's a night fixture here at the SCG. For some reason, I thought we were playing during the day, but not to matter. 3-kilometre wins. The Swans do have the home ground advantage. And I'm very keen to see if we can continue our hot start on our Premiership defense. There's a lot on the line. The high voltage on the banner, apparently, which is quite funny. And out come the Sydney Swans here. High-flying Swans under the lights, top of the table in our sights. But they got to get through us first. I think the Swans are in the top 8 currently. I believe they're 2-1 on the ladder. But remains to be seen how they go. We're going to call heads on the toss of the coin here today. We've won the toss. Let's kick to the right of screen just for something different today. And here we go. Our first game, I should say as well, outside of Adelaide. Because we obviously played opening round, I should say. We played against the Crows. So we did have a bit of a home ground advantage there. That's in the back by Alir. So doing stuff for our team nice and early. Whitlock sends it down to full forward. Lachie Neale's actually down there and takes it in the hands nice and early. But as I was saying, we then had 2 home games straight after the game up against the Crows. So we've not played out of South Australia until round 4 as Lachie Neale puts through the first of the day. And a very good start by Port Adelaide in this one. Callum Mills sends it down to full forward. We get the spoil and trying to find a handball clear. Will Hayward, the South Australian, gets it to row bottom, runs into an open goal, and the Swans strike back very quickly. Swans working the ball forward once again. Advantage has been paid. I don't really know what the free kick was for, but Isaac Heaney takes the mark inside 50 as Callum Mills really starting hot in the middle of the ground so far. Callum Mills with that set shot puts it straight through the middle, and the Swans hit the lead very early. Good to see a bit of fight from the Swans early on in this one. Goad chasing jumpers right now. Adam sends it down to full forward. And Joel Lamarty, what a mark on Leek Alir. And he's been deep in the pocket on this one. Hopefully he misses this as a 3-1 start. We have not had this kind of adversity so far this season. And he puts it straight through. Great hands out of the middle of the ground. Rosie back down to full forward. Dersma and Melican. Melican does well at full back. Now with Harry Cunningham. Owen Miles in and amongst it early. Horn Francis standing on Lloyd. Will Green now in the ruck. Playing up against Taylor Goad today. Great fist from Wanganeen Miller. Does well. Hands it off to, I think that's Lachie Neale down there. Dersma has 2 to deal with. Owen Miles kicks it towards Joe Berry. I don't think that was his intention. Ball smothered, and it's a rush behind. And a tough contest early between the two teams. Swans up by 11, 6 minutes gone into the first quarter. Ollie Florent kicking short, finds Hayden McLean. Now with Heaney, back to McLean. Down the line, looking for Wanganeen Miller, and we intercept very, very nicely. Swans dominating possession early. Kicking down the line, Kane Farrell has 2 to deal with. Drops the ball, unfortunately. Ball inside. Willem Drew picks it up. Kicks it out on the full, though. Poor use of possession by foot on that play. And a good intercept mark on center wing by Lachie Neale. Send the ball down the line. Dersman's got 2 to beat. Ball goes to ground. Good recovery by the Swans there. Wanganeen Miller intercepts once again. We've got a player inside looking for Horn Francis. He takes it very nicely. Just weighing up our options. Butters sitting under it. Can't take the mark. And another intercept via Horn Francis as well. Let's go short. And it's now in the hands of Joe Berry, leading the Coleman medal as we know so far this year. Looking for his first on the day. Starts it pretty wide, but it swings back beautifully. And he gets Port second. Sam Draper into the ruck for the first time today. Quick kick forward by Zach Butters. Burgoyne sitting under it. Takes a good contested mark. With a short kick over the top. Looking for Horn Francis. Takes it in the Dukes very, very nicely in front of Chad Warner. A little bit of breeze pushing to the left of screen. So if we set it just outside that right goalpost, should be okay. Swings back really nicely. That may be a rush behind, unfortunately, and it is. And that was a surprise play, actually. I did not expect to get a free kick from that. But Joe Barry going to be lining up for his second here today with this kick to put Port Adelaide back in front. Misses to the the right-hand side. An inaccuracy in front of goal already costing us. That is a poor kick. And Zach Butters going to be lining up now. Just the 2 disposals for him in the middle of the ground. You'd have to say it's all been Sydney so far in terms of possession. Finally puts that one through. We thought it was a little bit wide. But Zach Butters gets his first of the day and Port Adelaide's third. Starting to work our way back into the lead here. Great hands in the middle of the ground by the Swans. Great tackle. That's holding the ball. Well done, Lockie Neal. Let's send it down to full forward. Dersma has 3 to deal with. Ball goes to ground. Draper sends it forward in the Berry direction, and he takes a really good mark. Getting a lot of the ball early, Joe Berry, I should say. Lining up for a second. Puts it through. Is he a chance for the Coleman medal this year? It was not on my bingo card at the start of the year, but you never know what can happen. Sometimes these younger players just explode and they provide a bit of something when you least expect it. That's another holding the ball. Arlo O'Brien getting involved for the first time today. Lord Francis sends it forward. Berry's getting amongst it once again. Warner gets dropped. That's holding the ball again. And a lot of shots on goal coming from our midfield so far. That one's actually quite poor as Zach Butters misses to the left-hand side. Alia gets his first touch of the day against his old side. 10-point lead to Port Adelaide right now. Wanganeen Miller drops the ball in the middle of the ground. Unfortunately, McLean gets wrapped up holding the ball as Jack Silvani looking for a target. Berry's actually standing by himself. And now Hayden McLean from that tackle now has Cinders Moses. He's probably going to miss the rest of the game now. As Joe Berry, this kick isn't a good one. He's going to miss to the left-hand side. Just sneaks in for a behind. And as you can probably tell, in between videos, I have increased the set shot difficulty. So we should be finding it a little bit more difficult to kick goals on a consistent basis throughout the course of the video. As Horn Francis intercepts. We've got a player down forward. It's actually George Hewitt and Cunningham. Ball gets punched away. Alia's in pursuit. He gets wrapped up. And now it's a boundary throw in. Quick kick forward out of the contest by Arlo O'Brien. And Jace Burgoyne gets prime position. Going to be lining up for another shot on goal for Port Adelaide. We've tried to stick this a little bit wider outside the goals. Not swinging back far enough. And the debutant, Owen Miles, intercepts this ball at half forward. Looking for a player down in the goal square. Horn Francis is amongst it. Takes it in the Dukes. Should be a fairly straightforward kick, this one. Puts it around the body. He puts it through, and it's now a 3-goal lead to Port Adelaide. Draper, short ball out of the middle. Errol Goulden's now injured. The injuries are coming out of nowhere. Unfortunately, the Swans have 2 early, and you'd have to say that to 2 of their key players. Now Taylor Adams just handballs it straight. Oh my God, how have we missed that? Whitlock has honestly had a stinker of a start to the season this year. Great fist from behind. I think that was, I didn't actually see who that was that punched that ball. Now with Green looking wide to Lloyd. Horn Francis picks him up on the mark. 5-7. It's been a really poor start for us so far. O'Brien pushing forward. Takes a good intercept mark with a player wide. It's Nick Newman over the top. He takes it. Let's just try and maintain possession for the rest of the quarter. See if we can just look after the ball. Horn Francis sitting under it. Does a good job. Players still pushing forward. Let's go inside. Dersma. Great hands over the top of Taylor Adams. Just too big and strong. Actually, it's going to be his first touch of the day. And hopefully he can put one through for his team. It's straight through the middle. Horn Francis marks at centre half forward. We may as well take a shot here. Still quite late in the piece in terms of the first quarter. Going to have a shot from inside the centre square. Long ball. Marked on the goal line by Alir. Well done. He's currently facing the crowd, but it's okay. It all works out. Harry Cunningham, short ball over the top. Chad Warner sends it down the line. Nick Newman takes a good mark. Let's send it back to centre half forward. Whitlock down there with Alir. Would have competed many times in training. Ball smothered. Handball over the top to Silvani. Can't get it onto his boot, unfortunately. 8 behinds in the first quarter for Port Adelaide. Poor kick out of full back. And Butters takes the mark in front of goal. And this is going to be another poor kick as well. I can feel it. It's on the siren. We have scored 9 behinds in the first quarter. And this has been absolutely disgusting to start this game. The Swans had 3-1 to start the game. They were doing really, really well. And then the wheels completely fell off. They were dominating in possession. They still got a little bit of a lead in possession. But the 7 free kicks to 1 has been really, really poor in this one. We're actually getting a bit of an advantage in the clearances, which normally isn't the case. But we're doing quite well. Berry, 2-2 has been really good. Heaney's got a goal. Rowbottom, Amadi as well. But a lot of inaccuracy on our end. Obviously, Berry's got the 2 behinds. Butters with 2 behinds. Whitlock and Burgoyne as well. There may even be a rush behind in there. Let's see if the Swans can try and bounce back in this second quarter. They started so positively, and then they just really disappeared. They're starting to work the ball forward here. Green, now in the hands of James Jordan. Alir and Amadi. Amadi marks it in that forward pocket. This is actually where he kicked his first goal of the day from. Let's see if he can get a second. And he does very, very well. The Swans strike first in the second. Not an ideal start for us, but we still lead by 21. Doing very nicely. Great smother by Horne-Francis. Goad, Rosie, long ball. Looking for Silvani. Can't take the mark. Good follow-up tackle, though. And now Alir. Stay with Berry on the mark. Just a bit of a height discrepancy there. Now Campbell kicking over the top. Good intercept by Connor Rosie. Just working his way back off of the mark. Great find over the top to Warple. I don't even think I've said his name today. Actually, Rosie's over the top again. Let's give it back to him. Oh, we probably should have just gone back and kicked the goal. Whitlock in pursuit. That's in the back. The unselfishness of our team players cost us there. But Horne-Francis, who's probably been best on so far, this is going to be for disposal number 10 and a second goal. Let's see if he can put it through. Starts it wide, swinging back. Not far enough. 6 goals, 10 is absolutely putrid from us to start this game. Not happy whatsoever. Chad Warner kicks it down the line. Trying to intercept via Willem Drew, and we do a fantastic job. Berry's in the pocket. Miles is over the top as well. It's Florent and Berry. Berry can't take the mark. Good follow-up tackle on Florent. No attempt to get rid of it. That's holding the ball. Wanganeen Miller is just sitting on top of the goal square by himself. Great vision from Berry. And Port finally get their first of the second quarter via Nasiah Wanganeen Miller. Back out to a 28-point game. Ryan Burton's got a bit to do here. Does well on Campbell. Looking wide now. That's a poor kick. Straight to Logan McDonald. Down the line. And then Ryan Burton intercepts once again. Let's go back wide. Nick Newman sitting under it. Obviously, former Swan used to play for them. Arlo O'Brien sees a player down the line. It's Owen Miles. Hasn't really seen a lot of it on his debut. Plays on. Short little ball. Finds Whitlock. Great quick play. O'Brien's inside. Actually goes over the top. And we turn it over to Chad Warner. Stoppage after stoppage right now in this forward 50. Wanganeen Miller tries to find some space. Kicks it probably a little too spacious. Warple sends it back in the Burgoyne direction. Runs forward, gets wrapped up, couldn't get boot to ball. Advantage is taken, which was probably a little brave. But the Swans are out here. Now with Caden Cleary. Looking for Amadi up the ground. Leaker can't stay with him. Back to Cleary, back to Amadi. Ball down the line. And Taylor Adams takes the mark. About 25 metres out, directly in front of goal. And it's straight through the middle. The Swans cannot seem to miss today. Whereas we are really struggling with our goal kicking. They cut it back to under a 4-goal game. Handball forward by Horn Francis, looking for Rosie. Little ball inside, that's not 15. Whitlock looking for his first of the day. It's another miss, but we get one of our objectives, which was to kick 8 behinds. Silvani intercepts. We have to go back and have a shot here. 3 disposals for Silvani today. Trying to swing it back with the breeze. He puts through his first. Rowbottom sends it forward for the Swans. Great body work by Ryan Burton. That's been one of his advantages throughout this series so far. He's been so good in the air when we've needed him. And Waffle now with the intercept mark. Arlo O'Brien over the top. Has a bit of space. Doesn't play on though. Had a feeling that a player was nearby him a little bit too closely. Now Waffle has options over the top. Heading in the Miles direction. Can't get it to him, unfortunately. Just a poor kick. Probably should have headed a little bit closer to goal rather than kicking to the pocket. Almost 13 minutes gone. We have got almost a 5-goal lead now. Great hands out the back to Warple. Couldn't quite find him though. Will Green finds Harry Cunningham wide. Back to Lloyd, middle of the ground. Lockie Neal almost chases him down. And Taylor Goad intercepts at half back. McInerney on the wing here, looking for a target up forward. Finds Taylor Adams. Probably not beyond his distance, but already has one on the day. We're looking to get the Swans another one here. That's pretty well done. It's a mark on the goal line, and it's Joel Amadi once again. I've got a feeling this man is only capable of kicking around the body and doing snaps. He's got his 3 from very close distance in front of goal. Draper unopposed middle of the ground. Burgoyne over the top. That's where we go. Just looking around, surveying our options here. We've got Warple pretty short here as well. Take the mark very, very nicely. Just moving without the ball. What I like to see, Burton now over the top. Not a stranger to kicking goals from the back pocket. Let's see if we can get one for him here today. Let's see. He's going to be kicking from right on 50. That is perfection. Ball now with McDonald at half forward for the Swans. Lee Kalir. Can't take the mark. O'Brien's down there trying to clear it via hands. Get wrapped up. Adams. Rowbottom already has 1. Now he's got 2. And the Swans are just lining up inside forward 50 now. Burton just forgot to... he forgot to mark the ball. He forgot to mark the ball. But we've got a stoppage inside our defensive 50. And I must say, whoever's rucking for the Swans today is absolutely crushing it. Quick snap out of the pack. And the Swans get another. Justin McInerney with that one. Did a very, very good job. Draper finally wins a hit out. Naz kicks it down to full forward. Silvani, Melican. Silvani takes it. Looking for his second on the day. Puts it straight through the middle. Stops the stream of Sydney goals. Quick handball forward by our midfielders. Wanganeen Miller gets chased down. Really good defensive work in the middle by the Swans. And Taylor Goad having a break from his duties at half-back. Kick short. Finds Dersma. We've got Miles over the top. Can't find him. Finds Joe Berry though. Handballs into traffic. To Rosie. Back to Drew. Long ball. Whitlock. Can't take it. Rush behind. Now an even 4-goal game. Not the even 4 goals we would have wanted heading into this one. Because obviously it's 2 goals, 12, which is the difference. But, you know, it's still a lead. Now we've got Newman at half forward. Send it long. Berry and Florent. Great body work from Florent. Now we're going to lay a tackle. Well done by Burgoyne. That's holding the ball. He's had a few opportunities at goal today, Jace Burgoyne. No goals for him yet. Now a 30-point lead. Back-to-back clearances for Port Adelaide. We kick over the top, but we kick straight to Roberts. Poor decision-making in the middle of the ground. Wanganeen Miller standing... Actually, it was Burgoyne standing the mark. I'm currently in love with Wanganeen Miller. He's had a very, very good game so far. Burgoyne trying to chase down. Now with McInerney kicking down the ground. Tony Marshall. Haven't seen a lot of him today. Well done, Silvani. He's done a really, really good job. He's been absolutely everywhere so far. And he's currently playing on Isaac Heaney, who I don't even think he's touched it today. Berry, good defensive tackle. Really does a good job. Good follow-up by Lockie Neal. Now we got players streaming forward. Black to Florent. Now with McInerney. Kicks to the pocket. Callum Mills is down there. Farrell can't get there in time. And the siren may go shortly. And Callum Mills had a fantastic first quarter, been a little bit quiet since. Gets one back for the Swans, though. And that is halftime. That was so funny. We went to take the bounce at halftime. Ball went up. Siren went. Players stopped doing anything. That was hilarious. Anyway, 24-point game. 5 goals, 3 to 6 goals for the Swans. So they actually won the quarter that time around. Very, very good. They're winning the disposals, doing a fantastic job. We're killing it with the inside 50s. The inaccuracy in front of goal is really crushing us right now. Joel Amati leading the goal kickers with 3 on the game. Berry I didn't think he got near it that quarter. Laid a couple of tackles, but that was about it. Silvani has 2, Neil 1, Wanganeen Miller 1, and a smattering of others getting a lot of the ball. But it's all been Sydney in terms of possession that quarter. Horne-Francis has 12 for the game. We need to be a bit better maintaining possession of the ball because it's really been just goal for goal since quarter time. And the Swans, they may have more in the tank heading into the second half. And we also should say we have been fortunate that the Swans have received 2 injuries in the form of Errol Goulden and Hayden McLean, 2 of their more senior players. Butters gets wrapped up straight away out of halftime. We have another stoppage in the middle of the ground. So the Swans are playing 2 down right now. So we should be trying to take advantage of that. We try and handball it forward. Just goes through absolutely everyone. Oh my God, just find a target, please. Horne-Francis gets dropped. I'm surprised that wasn't 50. And it's still Sydney's free kick. I thought it might have been our free kick for a second. But not to be. Taylor Goad at centre half back takes a really, really good mark. Let's not waste possession here. Draper's actually just standing by himself. But it's going to end up with Arlo O'Brien. Doesn't in the end. Miles gets just gang tackled. And it's now another stoppage inside our forward 50. Lockie Neal in and amongst it. Is the target. Gets tackled. And the Swans manage to clear it. They do a fantastic job. Draper giving chase to Rowbottom. Well done, Draper. That was terrific. Let's go long. Down to full forward. Berry has 2 to deal with. Big fly from behind. Can't hold on to the mark though. Alir gets dropped. Loose hands forward. That's in the back. And now Lockie Neal is going to have a shot on goal. Going to be looking for his second of the day. And to extend the lead beyond 4 goals. It just slides to the left. Little kick forward. Great vision by Draper. Now finds Horne-Francis. Just having a bit of a spell in that forward pocket right now. Looking for his second of the day. Puts it through. James Jordan pushing wide. Trying to get tackled by Waffle. Can't lay it, unfortunately. Now in the hands of Campbell. Kicking down the line. Logan McDonald's back there. And remains unopposed. Why did he play on? Why on earth did he play on? I was going to say, why did he play on from there? But that should be a 50-meter penalty. Lining up for his first of the day. Puts it through. The Swans yet to miss. Lockie Neal out in space, off of halfback. Short little ball forward. Looking for Burgoyne. Finds him. Buries the next target up the field. Finally getting a bit of the ball in the second half. Kicking towards half forward. Back to Lockie Neal. We've got a player on the lead. I'm surprised that was 15, but it's in the hands of Zane Dersma. We're going to be lining up from well outside 50, actually. Actually, it's just going to be right on the paint. And he has struck that magnificently. O'Brien with a handball forward, trying to find... Oh, Warple's done a hammy. Not good. Wanganeen Miller with the kick forward. Loose ball on top of our goal square. Warple's done a hammy, though. We finally get an injury today. I'm surprised we didn't get one sooner, to be perfectly honest. Rosie sitting under it. Handball forward. Butters looking after it. Trying to get boot to ball. Can't do it. Smoking Joe Richards into the game now as the sub. Great fist. I didn't even see who that was. Ball going forward now for the Swans. Now in the hands of Toddy Marshall. Kicking short and finds Joel Amati, who's going to be lining up for his 4th. Not going to be able to do a banana from this distance, you wouldn't have thought. But to cut it back down to under 30 points. Kicks it, just a little stab kick to be honest. But he puts it through. He's got 4 of the 11. And just a quick bang out of the middle by, I think that was Chad Warner. Swans get back-to-back goals. And have a look at this kick. Just bang, straight out of the stoppage. We've got to be a lot better than that going forward. We just got to do better in the ruck as well. Draper knocks it down to Rosie. Great vision. Another handball inside. Short little kick to Naz. He's open. And he takes it for a second goal on the game. Starts it wide. Swinging back. It's no good though. Now an even 20-point game. Kick to the pocket. Berry can't intercept Chad Warner today. That was not 15, but okay. Who's that in the square by himself? It's Berry pushing forward and takes it. Kick 2 very early on. Going to be looking for a third here. Puts it through. Now back out to 26. Ball loose heading towards our forward 50. Lloyd just gets shoved by Wanganeen Miller. That was probably uncalled for, has to be said. And Taylor Goad, who's probably played more back than ruck today, has played very, very well. And now Newman at half forward. We got Miles sitting under it. Says he can have a shot. I don't necessarily trust his leg, but we'll send it down to the square. We just need someone to mark it. Ball goes to ground. Kick it. I think that's a goal. No, it's touched. And it's intercepted out of fullback. We've been very, very lucky with that one. Whitlock still hasn't kicked a goal today. He has been largely absent since the start of the year. Although I still think he's kicked 6 goals. But he's finally got his first for today. Rowbottom sends it long out of the middle of the ground. Kane Farrell standing on Toddy Marshall does a fantastic job. Connor Rosie on McDonald does even better. Let's kick it long down the ground. Whitlock standing under it. Can't take it on Jake Lloyd of all people. Come on, Whitlock. You got to be doing better than that, son. Now Taylor Adams has Rowbottom over the top. Ignores him. Goes to Campbell instead. Great tackle. Willem Drew giving chase. We got players forward. Need a spoil. Well done. Didn't see who it was. Logan McDonald gets wrapped up. Dodges the tackle. Sends it down the line. And great hands by Rowbottom again. 13 disposals and 2 goals already on this one. Lining up for a third. Phenomenal work by Jimmy Rowbottom. Rosie down the line at half forward. Has 2 to deal with. Can't take it. Logan McDonald does a fantastic job. Great tackle on Lloyd by Naz. Another good tackle. Oh, they're tackling it. Oh, I cannot stress enough how good the tackling has been today by our guys. Miles over the top. Takes the mark at half forward. We got players centrally. Naz is standing by himself and takes it. For a second in the quarter, I believe it's offline again. 28-point game. It could be a lot worse. Our goal kicking could be a lot worse. That's a ball up in our stoppage. In our forward 50, I should say. Draper trying to find someone. Quick kick by Rosie. Gets wrapped up before he can get boot to ball. Great hands by Jackson Mead. I don't even know if I've said his name today. Got a player on the lead. Owen Miles sitting under it. Can't take the mark though. Draper's in and amongst it. Ball is cleared. Well done, Sydney. And now Logan McDonald getting a bit of it in this quarter. And the ball now loose in the middle of the ground. Oh, Will Hayward, well done. Only the 2 disposals for him today, but he's going to be taking this kick from right on 50. It's a mark on the goal line, courtesy of Taylor Goad. Does a fantastic job. Burgoyne sitting under it, takes a good mark. Draper's in the middle of the ground, has a few to deal with. Risky ball, but ends up in the hands of Alir. Fantastic job by him. Roberts kicks to the pocket, finds Caden Cleary, and he's going to be going back to have his first shot on goal for the day. To cut it back to 22. Makes no mistake. Free kick to Goad, middle of the ground. Let's just send it long. 22 minutes left in the quarter. Dersma with the body. Take the responsibility and have a shot on goal. I'm not even sure who's been our best forward today. It may be Dersma. It may be even someone like Silvani, who spent time down in defense. That kick's no good, though. Obviously, always a bit tougher from kicking from further out. But I know Whitlock has been largely, absent. Rosie with the intercept mark was really, really good there. And it was a poor kick inside our forward 50. We tried a short option. It wasn't on at all. Willem Drew, not exactly close to Taylor Adams. Great tackle by Miles. He's not done too bad on his AFL debut. He's definitely could have been a lot worse. As Silvani sends it down the ground looking for Berry. Big fly from behind by Melican. No good. picks up his own ball, finds Taylor Adams wide. Drew's trying to chase him down. Adams just takes his time. Now with Will Hayward kicking down the ground. Now in the hands of Rowbottom. Siren goes for 3/4 time. 17 disposals and 3 goals so far for Rowbottom. Looking for a 4th goal. It's a long ball. And it's marked on the goal line. So close for Rowbottom on that occasion. But 5 goals to 4 again for the Swans that quarter. They've outscored us since quarter time. It's been 11 goals to 9. But 9 goals 8 is just the tricky part. 215 disposals today for the Swans. Joel Amarty has 4. Berry's got the 3 goals. I wish he was kicking a little bit straighter. Not Rowbottom. Horn Francis has been quite good. Dersma's had his moments. Whitlock, not been ideal. Lockie Neal has been our highest possession getter. But above that, it's all been Swans today. We need to be doing a lot better to finish this game strong. Hopefully, we can get the job done. And Gode's going to start us off in the middle of the ground. Ball won by Green in the ruck. And great mark at halfback by Newman. Now we've got a few options. Let's just go short. Burton's unopposed. You just got to play a little bit smarter. I think that's just what we got to do for the time being. Ball goes into the middle of the ground, finds Miles. Kicking in the Lockie Neal direction. Standing on Lloyd, takes the mark very, very nicely. Going to be lining up for his 2nd of the day. And can't squeeze it in, unfortunately. Another long ball into our forward 50. Rosie can't take the mark. Whitlock's down there, trying to chase down Alir. Didn't do a good job. Short ball over the top. Now in the hands of Wanganeen Miller. I would like to get closer to goal if possible. Let's kick short. Now in the hands of Rosie. Just the 12 disposals for him today. No goals so far. Puts through his first. Nick Newman, middle of the ground. Silvani sitting at centre half forward. Takes the mark. Apparently he's within range. Who's this by himself? Lockie Neal of all people. His set shots haven't been terrific so far. I think he's 1 goal 2, maybe even 1 goal 3 at this point in time. And this may be 1 goal 4 if he misses this. He's hit the post. Boundary throw-in now inside our forward 50. There's a massive gap just in the corridor. Let's try and hit it in that direction. Finds Miles, gets wrapped up. Quick clearing ball. Can't get hands on it to spoil in the end. Now in the hands of Green, who has absolutely demolished Draper and Gode in this one. Has to be said. Now with Will Hayward. Looking down the line. Good intercept by Silvani. He's been so good today for us. Has been really good all season. One of my favourite pickups in this off-season period. Miles can't take the mark. Running forward, trying to get boot to ball. Ends up just kicking it into space. But we got the numbers. Gode gets tackled straight away by Florent. And we got another ball up. Now with Green once again pushing forward. Easy transition by the Swans. Too good on that play. And Lockie Jones hasn't seen it today. Another one of our former players. I forgot we traded him. Kicks it wide onto the goal line. Amarty was a chance for a 5th there. But Silvani intercepts. Smoking Joe now unopposed on the wing. Let's kick it back down to full forward. Dersma's down there. Berry's got crumbs. Ends up in the hands of Dersma. Miles is over the top. Yet to kick his first goal. And Dersma does the team thing. Let's see if Owen Miles can put through his first career goal. He does. Lockie Neal sends it forward. Dersma can't take the mark. I thought it was Whitlock down there. But Whitlock has had an absolute stinker of a start to the season, as we know. So if it wasn't for the injury to Lukosius, he probably wouldn't be playing today. But anyway, here's Whitlock, actually. Wanganeen Miller is standing the mark. Alir, he's actually had quite a good game, to be perfectly honest. Alir, given Whitlock an absolute bath. Chad Warner looking down the line. Can we intercept here? Newman, fantastic job. Let's go short. Not sure that was 15. Wanganeen Miller manages to get rid of it. Whitlock over the top. We've got players inside. We turn the ball over. Good follow-up tackle, though. We got another ball up. Silvani with yet another intercept mark. Ball over the top. Whitlock takes the ball at half forward. Let's just kick it short. That's not 15. That was a bit shorter than I imagined. Berry over the top. looking for a target. I was looking for Richards actually, but it's ended up in the hands of Connor Rosie, who hasn't been at his absolute best since the start of the season, but he's been really, really decent today. Kicks his second goal of the half, 17 disposals. I don't think he's had under 20 for a game this entire season. And hopefully, I mean, we've still got a few minutes. We can keep that streak alive. But obviously, we still want his disposals to be meaningful. As Go just gets wrapped up there by Green, who, as I said, has given him an absolute bath as well in the ruck today as Draper. Leaker, a rare intercept mark on not McInerney. I've forgotten his name, Joel Amati for a second there. Now with Taylor Goad in the middle of the ground, looking for Whitlock and Alir. Ball goes to ground. Good spoil by Alir. That's why he's an All-Australian. Now in the hands of Jordan. Down the line, Newman takes the intercept mark, plays on because nobody's near him. Sends it back down the line. Horne-Francis takes it. Let's kick it long. Heading for Miles. Florent takes it. I thought Miles was definitely on there. Not to be. Tony Marshall at halfback now. Just spending some time at centre half forward. Appears to be going all over the world here. There's a lot of former Port players and a lot of former Swans on the ground right now. Obviously, Nick Newman used to play for the Swans. Alir is technically a former Swan because he left the Swans, went to Port, then came back. As the Swans get one back, they get their 15th on the day without missing. George Hewitt, another former Swan that's playing today, obviously for us. Good hit out by Goad that time. Didn't actually end up with one of our players, but at least we won one. George Hewitt kicks it short. Wait, sorry, he was tackling as Toddy Marshall gets amongst it. Yet to kick a goal today. 37-point margin. Could cut it down to 31. But it's the margin's sort of been floating between 25 and 40 ever since the second quarter. Just neither team able to either kick on or cut the lead back down. It's really been goal for goal. Miles sends it long down the full forward. Dersma, great hands. I've been really impressed with some of the stuff he has done this season so far. Obviously kicked 5 on debut for us. And he's just been a little bit consistent. He's been Mr. Consistent throughout this entire second season. Obviously it's a small sample size. But he puts through, I think that was his third or fourth. I wasn't really paying attention. But now back out to 37. Goad trying to win it out of the middle. Rowbottom gets wrapped up. He's probably been Sydney's best. He's had over 20 disposals and he's kicked a handful of goals. Ball goes to ground. Jordan gets wrapped up by Jackson Mead. Hasn't seen a lot of it today, but we've got Lockie Neal on the inside here by himself. Now we've got Wanganeen Miller down by himself, but I kicked it straight over his head. Berry sends the ball to ground. Great tackle. Handball forward to Horne-Francis. Never reaches him though, as Alir intercepts. Newman, fantastic interception now. I know Goad's pushing forward. He's got the height advantage on Warner. You'd think, oh, how have you not marked that? Miles over the top, gets dropped. That should have been a definite easy goal, but Goad just drops an absolute sitter. Long ball down the line, looking for Dersma now. Can't take it. Melican, a fantastic job at fullback today. Although has had some misses in terms of some of his opposition plays. For the amount of ball that's come in his general direction, he's done quite well. Warner now had a bit of it in the second half. Looking for McDonald down at half-back, but half-forward I should say. But it only ends up in the hands of Ryan Burton. Horne-Francis, bit to do here. Takes a really good mark. Just looking for an option here. Goes over the top by himself. We'll take it there. And we've got another ball inside. Ends up in the hands of Willem Drew. I'm hopeful that James Warple's injury isn't too serious, as can't get that one to swing back. It hits the post actually. Because Warple has been very, very good for us at times this year, as Wanganeen Miller just collects the ball in front of goal. But I know that, obviously, in the case of Warple's injury, if it's a long-term one, we've got Willem Drew that can replace, as Wanganeen Miller puts through his second. And that is full time. So a pretty tight game, all things considered. I think the final margin was 44 points, 5 goals to 2 in that final quarter. But as you can see, for majority of the game, basically from the end of the first quarter through to basically halfway through the fourth, it was within 25 to 30 points for majority of the game. The Swans did really, really well, all things considered. They got the most possessions. They gave away a lot of free kicks, but their rebounds 50 were exceptional. They did really well in the ruck. They beat us in the clearances in the end. We're really, really good. Amadi led the game with 4 goals. Berry with the 3. Was pretty quiet in the second half, to be honest. Dersma with the 3. Horn Francis, Rosie, Silvani, Wanganeen, Miller with the 2. Lockie Neal, 1 goal, 3 wasn't ideal. Chad Warner with the 32 disposals was really good. Connor Rosie couldn't quite get over the over 20 today. Finished on 19. Lockie Neal got the 25, but in the ruck, that's the numbers I want to see. Will Green with the 31 hitouts. Draper and Goad with the 23 combined, so got absolutely crushed. But let's sing the song, and hopefully the game doesn't crash as it has previously. And in terms of the best on ground, Lockie Neal gets the votes in this one today. Chad Warner with the 2, which isn't too surprising. Nick Newman with the 1. But I think that James Rowbottom probably a little stiff to miss out on some votes as well. He did kick 3 goals. He did get a lot of the ball as well, 20 disposals. I know that, Nick Newman did get a lot of intercept marks, had 8 on the game. But I'm still a little bit surprised that Rowbottom didn't get any love. In terms of the AFL fantasy, Warner got the most, Neal in 2nd, and then Will Green actually in 3rd with Ollie Florent in 4th. Waffle's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury as we actually head into gather round unbeaten at the top of the ladder. The Doggies are our next game. If we head forward, we'll just do our normal training. Hopefully no other injuries have occurred. Doesn't look like they have. We're going to select our lineup here. Warple is obviously injured, as we know. We'll just put Arlo O'Brien on that wing. I think that's what we're going to do. And I know that Logan Evans is ready to come back. So I think that is going to be the best course of action. Outside of that, the rest of the team is going to remain unchanged. And we're not going to play it just yet, because obviously we are going to do that at the start of the next episode. But before we wrap things up, let's have a look at the rest of last round's fixtures. We can see that Collingwood belted Brisbane up on the Gabba. Perryman with the 3 votes, Pendlebury with the 2, Dacos of the Nick variety with 1. Very, very solid performance by the Pies there. North Melbourne actually beat the Dogs in Melbourne with Georgie Wardlaw getting some votes. Very, very good. 40 disposals for him. Exceptional work. St Kilda demolished Richmond, which probably isn't that surprising. Richmond not having a great run of things as of late. Ollie Wines didn't actually get any Brownlow votes, but led the way with 37 disposals on the game. Jamara recently got traded there in the offseason, ended up with the 3 goals, led the way. Poor Carlton, they've not had a good time. 8 goals, 22 for the Blues. The Suns just crushed them up on the Gold Coast. A lot of guys kicked 3. Anderson should have got best on, didn't. 35 disposals and 3 goals. Ended up being Michael Selwood, who also kicked 3. We obviously beat the Swans up on the SCG. Melbourne beat West Coast at home, and then the Crows beat the Giants. Geelong get absolutely crushed by Hawthorn at the G on the 6th of April. Connor Nash kicking 5 and had 39 disposals. Rightfully got the 3 Brownlow votes as Geelong 6 goals, 21. Who kicked all those behinds? Neil kicked 5, Close 3, Bailey Smith 2, and Jeremy Cameron with the 2 as well. And heading into gather round, these are all the results of the games as you can see so far. Just checked, none of them had super crazy individual performances. But the ladder as it stands right now, if we have a quick look, we're actually currently sitting 2nd on the ladder. The Suns are unbeaten. They did actually beat us in round 24 last year. I believe that was in Adelaide actually. And the Doggies currently sitting in 8th. The Swans, after that loss, shuffled down to 9th. But the top 8 starting to take shape, as you can see. Richmond and West Coast yet to win a game. Geelong surprisingly struggling right now. Melbourne, obviously a few of their players getting a bit older. The Crows, after losing by a lot in round 1, they've won 3 on the trot. Hopefully, the Doggies can provide a bit of a challenge in gather round as well. And league-wide, Joe Barry still leading things in the Coleman medal. 18 goals from his 4 games so far. Dersma with the 15, not too far behind. But Queensland getting a bit of representation in the top 4 as well, with Ben King and Logan Morris up there. No other Port Adelaide players. Actually, Jack Lukosius has 9 from his 3. Obviously out with injury right now. Connor Nash could be on track for a Brownlow at this point in time. 188 disposals in his 5 games, along with 8 goals. And just in the terms of us, here are the rest of our sort of leading goal kickers on the year. Possessions-wise, Lockie Neal doing a fantastic job at the top of the list. Connor Rosie not too far behind. Zach Butters in 3rd as well, with Wanganeen Miller and Horn Francis, his double-barrel surname buddy, making up 4th and 5th respectively. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Next episode, we're going to have Gather Round at the Adelaide Oval. It's another Saturday night game up against, as we know, the Western Bulldogs, currently sitting in 8th. Hopefully, we can have a decent run of things heading into the midpoint of the season. And we can see that after that, we've got Carlton, we've got North Melbourne, and then we've got a few harder games. We actually play the Doggies again in round 10, which is quite funny. And then we've got the mid-season draft, Hawthorn and West Adelaide on the same day. We've got Brisbane a bit further down the line. And then these are the rest of our fixtures for the rest of the year. But I look forward to catching up with you next time, guys. As I mentioned at the start of the episode, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could please help me out, allow me to get monetized so I can start making more videos for you and being able to be compensated for it as well. It does mean a lot to me if you can support me in that fashion. So please subscribe to the channel, leave a like as well so we can get it out to as many people as possible. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.